So exactly the same applies for an incoming transaction, but the options just vary slightly. So if I'm just scroll down to one of the incoming transactions, so one here for Zulu on the 10th of the 5th. So you can see there's no rule against it, no similar record, and QuickBooks therefore automatically puts uncategorized income. So if you click onto that, you can see here you've still got the same option, you've still got add, and you've also still got find match. Now for this example, Zulu Ltd is one of our customers, so we know that we've got an invoice, or you should hopefully have an invoice raised in the system for this customer. So I'm again just going to click on find match for this one. And you can see here that there are a few invoices actually raised for Zulu. So potentially it could be this one here as it's dated before the payment. However, you can see that we've raised an invoice for $250 and we've actually only received $240. Hence why QuickBooks isn't bringing up that one similar record icon. Now, it may be the case that the customer has underpaid you by accident, or there may have been an agreement that they've had a discount of something. So you can actually still match this up. We do have a separate video on how to account for this. It's not part of our training guide, so you might have to come off of the playlist and have a look at some of our other videos. And it is called overpayments within QuickBooks Online. So that will show you how to deal with that scenario. Alternatively, what you might find is that you've got an incoming transaction that doesn't relate to an invoice of any kind. So you may want to just click onto this, and the other option you have is the add button. Now, this was a deposit made by a customer called Mr. Smith. There are some other options here, so you can actually use transfer again, like the outgoing transactions. So if it was a transfer between bank accounts, you then also have these two other options. So you've got a deposit or a sales receipt. Now they are both very, very similar. The only way I would say to choose between the two is when you enter a sales receipt into QuickBooks, you can actually assign a product or service to it at a later date. So if you have got products and services set up within your profile, I would definitely recommend entering a sales receipt. But they both effectively do the same accounting entries, so just be consistent with which ones you use going forward. In this case, I've decided to just use deposits. I've chosen my customer, Mr. Smith, and he has paid £49.02 into my account, which is a sale of product income. I am VAT registered, so I'm going to use the 20% standard rate. Now this has come up, which you will see on a regular basis. What it's basically asking you is every time you use sale of product income, do you want the default tax code to be 20%? Actually, that would be quite useful in my case because all my sales I make will have the 20% standard VAT applied to them. So in this case, I'm going to click yes. And you'll see a little note up here as well. There are some occasions where you might not want to use this. If, for an example, an account you use may have varying VAT codes. So once you're happy you've filled out all the boxes from left to right, you can simply click Add. You'll then see that these two transactions we've just posted appear in the QuickBooks tab here. So this has then reduced your number of transactions you have in the For Review section and effectively bookkept them into QuickBooks Online.